Alright, so we're up here in the combine with Dad and we're loading right now. But we're going to talk a little bit about the yield monitor that we got from Andrew at WS Ag in Darlington. And this monitor is the new Ag Leader 1200 monitor. I guess it's one of the first models that they're selling. So we're going to have a look at it. So on this monitor you can have an above view of your farm, and it shows the good and the bad spots. Spots where you're turning around more will have more red areas. And on this monitor, red doesn't necessarily mean bad, because we can bring up the scale. I'm not exactly sure how to bring it up. Is it the top left? So the scale on the left starts from 0 to 145. And if 145 is a low spot, then that's okay. And green means it's yielding over 205 bushels. So looking at the map, it's a pretty narrow and wide range. You can adjust it however you like to have many different ranges. Now we also have the moisture tester in this. Over on the right you can see the moisture. You can bring it up on the map just like that. And yes, the moisture right now is running about 22.1, and since we're going to dry it down to 15% in the bins, that's fine. We've done about 5 acres so far, and right now the yield average is about 180, but it's been going up since we've been working on this lower strip down here. So it'll also tell you your weight. We installed sensors that will tell you what your running average is, and we've already calibrated it how we need it to be. We've got about 1,000 bushels so far, and we really like this thing. This thing does all kinds of stuff. Something that kind of interested me was that you can mark spots in the field where, let's say you run over a large rock or something, you can mark that spot and then you can come back to it later if you need to find it. It knows when and which rows aren't harvesting, so it shuts them off automatically and it figures in your yield that way, rather than having sensors on each and every row. We're going to keep using it for the rest of harvest, and we'll be seeing if we want to keep it or get a new one. This is a demo unit technically, but it's one of those things that once you have it, it's kind of nice, and you're not sure how you ever got along without it.
They just came out with this 1200 display.
Yeah, this model just came out, and this is the first demo unit, and it's really cool. You can also set your cameras. Since we have two cameras, we have 2 different monitors that we use. One is on the grain tank, so when it's getting full, we know when it's going to start spilling over. And the other is on the back of the combine for a backup camera. You can actually set it up on this monitor to have those screens go to that. So you don't even need the extra 2 monitors if you didn't want them, but we want them because the more screens the better. Yield on the left, moisture on the right. Right now the map on the right is kind of all blue, all dark blue because it's higher moisture, but once we start getting down lower, I think that'll start changing colors too. So the split screen is really cool. Helps you see more things at once. On this monitor, you can actually download the Google Maps imagery and put it on the monitor, and that way you can have an overlay of your farms and it'll fill in your strips, so that way you can see where you're at and which parts of the field are doing what.
Instead of having the gray background.
Yeah, instead of just having the gray background. Now Dad actually likes this monitor so much that we're planning on putting it on the planter in the spring, provided we get one that's just like the demo unit. I don't know if they're going to let us keep it for over winter.
We'll get a brand new one.
Yeah, we'll get a brand new one if we choose to keep the yield monitoring system, which yeah, putting this in there, I was thinking, you know, like once we put it in here, it's not coming back out.
They ain't getting it back.
Yeah.